Let me just see this, an introduction to the Greeks, and go through this really quickly again so people get it. Let me just pull this one up so that we can go through this. Delta, okay? Delta is the measure, right, of how much an option price will change in the value of the underlying stock goes up 1 point, okay? An option delta 0.5 is half a share. Think about it like that, all right? So if you own, you know, if your delta's 50, you own 10 calls, you know, you own 100 shares, you realize that on a delta, you know, on a 10 call position, you roughly have 500 shares of stock. It's going to move the same way, okay? If you have an issue with that or you don't get that, please let me know, because none of what I'm about to go over is going to make any sense to you if you don't understand that. So let's go to this window and let me pull this up here. Bear with me. It should have clicked right over. Sometimes these systems are so easy. Sometimes they're not. There we go. Share. Okay. So what I want to do is I want everybody to kind of understand the move that happened and how you could have taken advantage of it or not taken advantage of it. So we're going to pull this back all the way so that you can see what's going on here. Now, we're going to look at this week and we're going to look at where we're at in regards to this stock. This is NVIDIA. And we all know that NVIDIA had earnings, right? We're all fully aware of the fact that NVIDIA had earnings. So we know that NVIDIA went down to, well, this has got me at 157, but we know that we went lower that day. But maybe I'll flip over to that system in a moment. Now let's do these options and let's keep it that way. Let's do these. So let's talk about these options. That we'll do it off of this. We'll do a completely different trade. I think that'll be easier for everybody to follow along. So here's NVIDIA. And we're going to say that I bought puts on NVIDIA. Okay. And I bought them on the 27th. So at the close, I bought puts. All right. And I bought the 180s. Okay. So let me just see those. They're at 31 cents. So I buy the 180s at 31 cents. And let's say that at that time, let's take a look and see what they actually would have gone for. So at that time, they were going for roughly $7. Okay. So they're going for roughly $7 at the close. They're at 5 here. So that's $5. Okay. So hopefully everybody followed that. You're at $7 here. You're at 2 by the end of the day, right? 2 3/4. So I think NVIDIA is going to get hit. I own these puts, the 180s going out next week, and I think we're going to get slaughtered in them. Therefore, I'm going to hold these puts. What winds up happening with them is very simple. I pull the way back down to here, okay? And I'm like, wow, you know what? I got some news. Maybe I don't really want to be in these. So what I could do after hours, just like you could have done previously when the stock was at 152 into earnings, is you could go out there and buy stock against your puts. Okay. So in other words, I know my delta's 30. Let's say I own 10 of these. I could go out there and buy 300 shares of stock, okay, against my 180 call position. I have 10 of them, we're going to say, right? So then I could buy 300 shares of stock. Now, what does that do? Well, that delta neutrals the position, meaning I am long as much stock as I am short. It's really 310 shares. Now, I'm just playing devil's advocate that I was fortunate enough to pick off the bottom. Now, I come out owning that stock. I'm underwater, and then I come in, and then that morning I trade up, right? And I go from 182, and I don't get the high. I only get 182, 183. I come back down. It undercuts here. I think it's going to break, and I blow out the 177. By doing that, what I've done from here to here, okay, is I've made, to here is I've made $4. Okay, we'll call it with slippage, it's 5, but we're going to call it 4. So I've made $4. So by making that $4, you can see that to the left over here, where they're telling me 476. We're just going to call it $4. So I pulled $4 out of that trade. Okay. I still have my puts. I haven't sold my puts. Now, whether or not you do another trade later in the day doesn't matter. But by making that amount of money, that goes directly to lowering my cost basis on my puts. Okay. So if you start looking at it from that perspective, you're set. Now, the other thing you could do is, let's say that you wanted to reverse this position and that you bought after hours and you bought it like 178.60 and you're like, you know what? I'm up $1, but they're at 7. You could buy stock against them and then just have left the stock on and let the whole trade play out and realize, geez, I'm going to let it go all the way up to here and I might hold it over the weekend because I have a free trade. I already gave up the $5, but I'm well over the $5, right? So like, let's just say you bought here and you have this conversation when you have that conversation right here. Okay. And you go, wow, I'm up $7 in that trade. I have a completely free, it's $7. I'm completely free and can blow out this trade, or I can hold it and I'm completely covered. Okay. That's how you can delta hedge your position. So that when something trades, and the reason I'm bringing that up, so you understand this calculation, and I'm sure there'll be questions with it. This is TC 2000, Cameron. I'll definitely look, Isaiah. I'll definitely look. So what you're seeing is by moving this way, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. So by moving this way, what we're looking for is we're looking to just stay in the trade, and we're looking to do that by holding our option position. Now, we could do this over and over again. Let's switch back to this position so that people understand this. Okay. And I'm going to give the option position that we were in during NVIDIA, because that's where this resonated with me the most, that I need to teach this. So here we are. NVIDIA comes out with earnings. We own the 155s. Okay. Everybody's high-fiving. We're geniuses. We think that this is going to go. Well, we have that little thing that Jess likes to call the 15-minute thingy, where if you break 15 minutes, you should be short. Well, guess what we didn't do? We didn't break the 15 minutes. So when we open here and snap back, you could have looked at this, deltaed out your position, and gone long stock. I actually bought a little bit, not a lot, but I bought some stock in here against my puts. Okay. So then it trades back up. I don't remember if this is real or not. I don't believe it is. And then we start trading back up. Well, now I have that position on and it's free. And that position can pay for my entire option position. And I was never at risk of losing money because I had the puts. Okay, so as the puts drop, they're going to go up in value against the stock. The delta is going to increase, right? The delta will actually decrease, but they'll increase for the puts, right? So as I drop, I make more money. As the stock goes up, I'll make more money. Okay, so if you're going to get volatility and you own puts against stock, it's very hard to lose. Very hard. And it's a great way to hedge. So this is kind of an advanced concept. I wanted to bring it out there. And we can drill into this a lot more if you want to. But I wanted to bring the concept to light so we can start playing with it and discussing it more. And you can tell me how to get better at explaining it. But buying stock against your put position is a great way to make money. Similar, if you're short, right, stock, or you are long calls, okay, shorting your stock against it is a great way to make money. All right, so it flips both ways. So I'm going to leave it there and open it up for the next 10 minutes to questions. How do you determine how many options to buy using delta? How do you determine how many options to buy using delta? I don't look at how many options I'm going to buy based upon the delta. I would look at how much I'm going to lose on the trade if I'm wrong, right? So in other words, That's how I would buy. Let me give you an example, Isaiah, because that's a really good question, actually. Not that the other questions aren't good, but you know where I'm going, what I mean. It's something that where people could utilize and learn. So here we are on NVIDIA, okay? And let me just make sure I have this up and it's right. Yep. Okay, good. So here I am on NVIDIA, and we're going to blow this way up. All right. And so I can come here and take a look at this and go, wow, that's really interesting. I have a delta of 0.3. Well, I think that we're going to drop to 180. But if I'm wrong, I'm going to lose roughly every day. I'm going to lose, you know, I can calculate what my loss is going to be. So I know that I'm going to lose 55 cents a day. That's what I'm going to lose next week, 55 cents a day. So these are about getting ready to bleed out, right? So I know that with these options. I know that at 31 cents, that's the move. So if I stay right where I'm at right now on Tuesday, I know that I'm going to lose. Then these options are going to be down 50 cents. We're going to call it. So they'll be at $1.55, or I'm sorry, $1.75, right? We know that. We know this number is going to be $1.75 because the theta, the time value is off, right? I'm linking all these classes together. If you don't know what theta is, it's time decay. So that's how much I'm going to lose here. All right. So I know that now if I go down $1, I'm going to gain 31 cents. So in other words, by looking at this option, I have to understand that I need the stock to drop $2 to stay even. So unless I go to 187, right? Wherever we closed, it's saying 189, but we know it's lower because we traded up at the end of the day. So at 187, I know I got to go down. Okay. So that's going to be an issue. So how do we fix that issue? Well, we know how much we need the stock to move. So then I have to assign a level of where I'm willing to get out. So I'm going to assign a level of, I'm not going to lose more than, I'm saying I'm buying them Tuesday. I'm not going to lose more than $1. So let's say that I don't want to lose more than $1,000. Okay, well, I can't buy more than 10 of these. So it's not really just the delta that's made that decision. It's the theta, the gamma, the vega, the price, and how much money I'm going to lose that has made that decision. For me, that's how I would trade, right? I wouldn't just look at the delta and go, I want 300. I would not look at this trade and go, I just want 300 shares to be short, and I'm going to buy those, right? Because that doesn't really fit, because I could go here and say, I want to buy 300 shares, or I want to buy 12 of these versus 10 of these, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting at. Hopefully that worked, or hopefully that explains it.